Hi Chipsters and welcome to EPL eKasi, the home of Chipsters. Double game week, double drama, because clearly one round of chaos just isn't enough. From managers sweating over captain picks to defenders forgetting what a clean sheet even means, game week 9 and 10 had everything. I mean, red cards flying, wild bench points, and a few lucky captains who somehow saw it all coming. So buckle up, we're diving into a double dose of madness because in fantasy, consistency is for people who don't play this game. Woo, ha, 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 ha. Let's go. Alright, since I've gotten your attention, let's talk about game week 9. And sure, what a circus that was. If you thought the chaos from game week 8 was wild, I'm telling you, game week 9 said, hold my water bottle. I think those were Mike's words from Easy FC. We saw goals flying in from defenders. Also something that Mike mentioned regarding fantasy added some funny twists with those defensive contributions that come in as bonus points. However, captains then decided to ghost harder than your ex after payday when they're the ones who are supposed to be working the hardest. And then a few managers who clearly needed therapy after forgetting to bench boost, me included. We saw some absolute steals, I'm not gonna lie, some tragic transfers, and a few lucky charm picks that even Mystic Meg couldn't predict. Anyway, enough gossip. Let's see who actually knew what they were doing this week. Time to check out our FC of the week, team of the week, the MVP, and of course, we cannot not show the EPL eKasi league table on how it's shaping up because things got spicy. Or did they? Let's see. And here we go. The top fantasy club for game week 9, ladies and gents. Step aside, pretenders. Body VIP FC pulled up like they just cracked the code to the fantasy algorithm itself. From the back, we've got Vicario holding it down with a cool 6 points, a very calm keeper energy. Then Gabriel came through with 9 points from Arsenal because apparently he doesn't do single digits anymore. But hold up, let's talk about the real headline. The MVP of game week 9, Mickey van der Ven. My guy turned into a full striker in defense, bagging 2 goals, 10 defensive contribution points, and a clean sheet from Spurs, who won 3-0 over Everton. Bro was everywhere, mate. I'm sure even Everton fans were clapping. Then, to make matters worse, there's the triple captain chaos, where Mbumo from Man United bagged 45 points. Man said, I am the main character this week. And United's 4-2 win against Brighton said, say less. Declan Rice chipped in with 7. Tavernier cooked up 11. And Szoboszlai 10 points of pure midfield sauce. And even Thiago from Bedford said, let me sneak in 5 in there. Doing more than Haaland. Yes, Haaland, who's only dropped 2 points. Body VIP clearly knew something the rest of us didn't. Didn't just play the game, they played the system. 124 points, chips activated, fireworks everywhere. Moral of the story, if you're not using your chips, you're just playing friendlies. The Chipsters are running this league, folks. I don't know about y'all. Alright, let's talk about the elite few who made game week 9 look like a training drill. If you had the squad, congrats. You basically hacked the 146 points in the bag with no stress, just vibes. Starting at the back, there's Martinez from Villa with 8 points because apparently clean sheets are just another day at the office when you've got Unai Emery whispering some sweet tactical nonsense in your ear. Then our MVP Mickey van der Ven, the man, the myth, the reason Everton had nightmares with those 23 points. From all we know, who and why, as I've mentioned, the 2 goals, the defensive contributions. He basically said, I'm the defender and the striker now, so deal with it. Then there's Cash from Villa, who clocked 15 points, proving again that when Villa defend, they defend unattacked. Then Pedro Porro from Spurs with 11 points because Spurs defenders are now midfielders and the midfielders are strikers, and we're all just living in Poster could lose beautiful chaos. Then there's Rodon from Leeds with 13 points. Man's also out here reminding the Premier League that Leeds defenders still exist. Midfield, where things went nuclear, is where Casemiro said age is just a stat, and here's your 15 points, as well as Mbumo dropped 15-2 like he's allergic to blank game weeks suddenly. Then there's Eze and Tavernier both doing double digits. These boys are cooking, guys. Then there's Arison and Fleming, who are joined with 11 points, or should we call them the 11-point club, because apparently this week everyone's allergic to single digits except your captains who blanked again. I won't mention any names. So yeah, 146 points if you had this lineup, and if you don't worry, therapy session for fantasy managers is still open on Tuesdays, by the way. Up next is the chaos we live for. It's league table time. And once again, sitting pretty at number 1 is Mike with Easy FC with 550 points and looking way too comfortable up there, if you ask me. Someone please humble this man. He's starting to smile like Pep after a 5-0 win. But hot on his heels is Tetabo FC at 549 points. 1 point difference. Just one. It's tighter than Chelsea's goal drought last season. Then All Out 11 at 512. Staying consistent there, we see Silas. You clearly took the slow and steady memo a bit too literally. But anyway, 4th, we've got Breaking Badly FC with 484 points. The man's accurate, the form's breaking, just not the way they hoped. Then there's Diogo Jota FC sitting in 5th at 475. Solid, not spectacular, but we'll allow it offensive. Then Kepa Clean FC at 449. Ironic name for a manager who hasn't seen a clean sheet since game week 3. Then there's TM Dragons right below at 441 points. Still breathing smoke, just not fire this time. Now, here where it gets interesting. There's KG United, who jumps into the chat with 427 points, straight to number 8. The new kid's moving like he's been here since game week 1. Then Barcelona FC slips again, now to 9th spot with 421. Lucia Striker rises to 10th with 416 points, and Monde FC then slides into 11th with 411. Can someone check on Monday? That slide's starting to look emotional. The table's heating up faster than a VAR review at Anfield. With game week 10 that just happened, I think anything can happen. What do you guys, we're about to do the big reveal. It's double game week, so we are going to see what happens for game week 10. Except maybe not Chelsea's consistency.
Sure. Alright, Chipsters. If you thought Game Week 9 had chaos strapped in, we're diving straight into Game Week 10. It's the same league, same drama, just news disasters, and some managers trying desperately to recover from last week's madness. Let's see who's climbing and who's crashing and who's just out here guessing. Let's find out. Right, if you thought Game Week 9 was mad, check out Rodney FC, which is owned by Rogers Malay from Kenya. Just went and scored a whopping 135 points. So yes, they use the magic bench boost chip. So let's break down the madness. At the back, we've got Raya for Arsenal, who chipped in a 6. Gabriel gave us 12. Chalova from Chelsea threw in a 7, as well as Casado added a 10. Then we've got Sessegnon from Fulham, who smashed a whopping 14. Sisman, and then Lucas from West Ham had a 9. João Pedro gave us a 9, and Gyökeres from Arsenal a 7, and then the piece de resistance, Haaland as captain, bagged a whopping also 26 points, as well as Casado added a 10. And don't sleep on the bench, that's the fun part. Henderson for Crystal Palace gave a 6. Then we've got Munoz with 6, Van Hecke 7, as well as Minte with a 9. So you see, Chipsters, this is exactly why we love FPL. Chaos, chips, and some very, very, very clear predictions on which players to buy or which players to have for Game Week 10. And don't sleep on the bench. That's the fun part. Henderson for Crystal Palace gave us 6. Then we've got Munoz with 6. Van Heke 7, as well as Minte with a 9. So you see, Chipsters, this is exactly why we love FPL. Chaos, chips, and some very, very, very clear predictions on which players to buy or which players to have for Game Week 10.
Hi Chipsters, if you think we're done, we've got more. So we want to tune in now into Game Week 10 to see who turned it into a points parade. So if you had this crew, your scorecard was basically fixing on the rest. So we've got Leno, we've got Gabriel, Gechi. Gechi was punching 10. Guys, these defenders are doing unexpected heavy lifting. I think I'm going to start pushing more of my investments for the guys at the back than forwards because they ain't working. Then we've got Robertson and Gomez there, who actually steals the spotlight. I'm speaking about Gomez, focus. With 16 points. He's the MVP for this week, meaning he's the player of the week. 2 goals and a clean sheet in Brighton's 3-0 romp over Leeds. Absolute legend. Then midfield, we see your Rice. Hey. Then we also see Casemiro. We also see Sessenon and Gravenberch. Did I miss anyone? No, I didn't. And then the up front guys, only 2, which is questionable, guys. Anyway, it's Haaland and João Pedro. Not bad for forwards, They are keeping those captaincy day baits spicy. I don't know. But all in all, it's a tidy 125 points. And if, you like me and we didn't bag them all, don't worry. We all have seats in the therapy corner for us. Don't be shy. Also you. That's why you're watching the show.
Next up is the Game Week 10 eKasi League standings log. And the tables have turned. Like Teto Ball said, enough playing catch up. And from being 1 point behind, the man's now 9 points clear at the top. That's not a league. That's like a statement, bruh. Meanwhile, Easy FC's gotta be feeling that pressure from easy to uneasy real quick. You got that, guys? And Silas just chilling there at number 3, cooking quietly, but not close enough to smell that top spot. From number 3 down, or let's say to number 7, there's literally 0 movement. So I feel like everyone went on an international break quite early in our season, and either these managers are getting too comfy or forgetting to transfer their players for every game week. I don't know, unless we're just about to see some serious smoke as the game weeks progresses. That is a wrap from the chaos that was game week 9 and 10. Chips flying, captains flopping, and managers acting like they knew it all along. Side eye. If you're new here, don't act brand new. Welcome. Go check out our previous episodes, catch up on the drama, and see how your so-called experts have been fumbling since game week 1. And for the OGs, subscribe, like, share, and maybe light a candle for your FPL team before game week 11, because the way these points are moving, you'll need prayers and proper shuffling skills to survive the next one. Sharp fede!